Hello, my friend requested a tutorial on how to animate in Flipoclip. I'm not an expert, but I decided to make it for them. First, we will start off with creating your animation. You need to choose a name for your animation. You can change the color of the background. For this, I'm just going to use white. Then you choose the FPS, which is basically how fast your animation will go. FPS means frames per second, so 12 FPS, which is what I will be using, would mean you have to draw 12 frames to make up 1 second of the animation. You can also use pictures from your gallery. Now I will be showing you the basic tools. Draw, erase, select, fill, and text. Starting with text. Fill. Next is draw. And erase. Then select. Then there's smudge and blur. For the drawing tool, you can also do guidelines or whatever they are called, and mirror. Now we're starting with a basic animation of bouncing balls. This is a good thing to practice as it helps you understand motion a lot. Yours may not be as perfect as mine your first try unless you copy what I do exactly. This is the easier way I do it, but you can totally draw each frame by yourself, and I actually think it helps you learn a bit more. You can also add grids if you want. And you can view frames a different way here. Now we are going to do moving. I animate it going right or forward, but this works for left/backwards, up and down. Now moving on to blinking, which adds quite a bit of life to your animation, and I like adding it when the character isn't really moving much so that there's at least some movement. This should have been in the basic tools section, but now I'll show how to add sound. When you add your sound, there will be frames that you can fill in by drawing each one individually or copy and pasting, then adding anything you need. You can also add your own sound, which you can watch and add for. There's also sound effects, but I'd suggest adding those after you're done with the animation. Now time for lip syncing, but this is only the way I do it, and there's probably better ways to lip sync, so I suggest to watch a different video on that. I always mouth the word and kind of exaggerate the mouth movements to figure out what shape the mouth would be. You can also mouth each part of the word. For this it would be wow. I usually copy and paste any text like this, but you can do it however you want. This part is kinda of what I do for a lot of my animations you can see on my channel. I'm not the best at explaining, so now I'm going to show you the frames of my previous animations in hopes that it'll help. This is a good one to help understand lip syncing. You can watch the actual video somewhere on my channel if you want to see it better, and that goes for most of these animations. This is the oldest animation I have and it's still unfinished, but I'm still really proud of it to this day. I need to start remembering to do practice animations like these because I'm very bad at that since I follow trends with deadlines. I'm going to let the rest of this section speak for itself.
Do you regret what you did? Would you do it again? Sure. Not. I'm not rushed.
Now you can watch me animate. This might be a little boring to watch, but you might learn something. I want to add a disclaimer that this is just how I animate and it's not the best way to do it. I'd suggest watching other tutorials by people who are actually good at animating in order to get better. I just made this video for fun.